Welcome to Talking with Kevin and Son, where truth meets real. We talk life, love, and purpose.
Who am I? That question is not poetic. It is not rhetorical. It is necessary. Who am I when the cameras are gone? Who am I when the crowd is silent? Who am I when courage costs me something? Because every generation is judged not by what it said it believed, but by what it was willing to risk. When I look at the circle of people who shaped my life, none of them were famous, none of them were wealthy, none of them appeared in history books. But they were rich in character. They were wealthy in integrity. They were powerful in love, and today every one of them is gone. I grew up in the 1960s, in a world that did not make room for someone who looked like me. And when I say someone who looked like me, I mean black, I mean unseen, I mean underestimated, I mean expected to be silent. My world yesterday is not much different from my world today. Money still matters more than people. Greed still shouts louder than compassion. Division still sells better than unity. The difference is this: today I have a voice. But let me be clear, having a voice does not mean having safety. Speaking truth has always come with a price, and that price can still be your job, your freedom, or your life. So when I speak intentionally. I speak for those who spoke before me. I speak for those whose names we will never know. I speak for those who stood when it was dangerous and sat when it was safer. I speak for those who marched. I speak for those who bled. I speak for those who never made it home. I speak for my fraternity brother, Brother John Lewis. I speak for a freedom rider. I speak for a civil rights icon. I speak for a man who believed that love was stronger than hate and nonviolence was more powerful than fear. Before hashtags, before cameras, before viral moments, his story traveled through black barbershops, through church basements, through quiet conversations with young men learning what service meant. And that story led to a bridge, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Selma, Alabama, 1965. 600 men and women, black and white, stood together, not armed, not violent, not protected. And on that bridge, John Lewis was beaten nearly to death by the state for demanding the simple dignity of a vote. Let that sit with you. Beaten for believing, bloodied for belonging, nearly killed for caring, and still he did not strike back. Still he chose love. Still he preached what he called good trouble, necessary trouble, holy trouble. And that is where my questions live. How do you not fight back? How do you find peace in chaos? How do you forgive a man whose hands once tried to end your life and later wrap your arms around him? I don't have those answers. What I do have is reverence. What I do have is humility. What I do have is responsibility. Because heroes are easy to admire until they ask something of us. I once believed heroes were just sandwiches, ordinary people we overhyped, people who would disappoint us if we got too close. But on July 17, 2020, when I learned that Brother John Lewis had passed, I fell to my knees, not for a politician, not for a public figure, but for a black American hero who lived his convictions all the way to the end. As black men, we are often handed a weight no one else is asked to carry. My grandfather, Joseph Phillips, told me, son, to be equal, you'll have to be 3 times better. And even as a child, I rejected equality. I never wanted to be equal. I knew I was called to be different. I knew God placed something inside me to make an impact, so I told myself I would be 10 times better because the world was gonna have to compete with me. John Lewis is no longer here in body, but he is alive in our conscience. He lives in our courage. He lives in our refusal to be silent. He lives wherever justice is defended. He lives wherever love shows up. He lives wherever someone decides to speak. Even when their voice shakes every February, we remember Rosa Parks. We remember Dr. King, but remembrance without action is just nostalgia. So let me ask you, who are you? Who are you when it's uncomfortable? Who are you when it costs you something? Who are you when silence would be easier? Because the bridge is still before us. The question is not whether injustice exists. The question is, will you cross anyway? I don't have all the answers, but I have a direction forward together into good trouble. And this is who I choose to be.